Ah! You gotta slam that lid shut on Pac-Man's head and sell that on eBay. You've just captured Pac-Man. What does Pac-Man have to do with Galaxian? Well, they're both by Namco. And Ms. Pac-Man and Galaxian are both on the Namco Museum Volume 3 disc for the PlayStation 1, released in 1996. And this is Galaxian. The original Galaxian was released in the arcades in 1979. This game is old school, and I love Galaxian. I grew up playing Galaxian on my Atari 2600. I enjoy playing Galaxian because it's a fun game, it's incredibly challenging, and it's one of those games that you keep coming back to and playing time and time again. Every now and then, it's a nice break from the first-person shooters and complicated video games they have out today. Galaxian is simple, it's easy to pick up, play a few rounds, put it down, and pick it up a month later. And that's the beauty of arcade games. Galaxian looks simple, but it's actually quite difficult to get a high score in this game. You get more points when you shoot the enemies in the air, so you can play the game two different ways. You can either try to shoot all the enemies while they're moving back and forth. You get about half points for them. For the standard enemy, you get about 30 points if you shoot them while they're in formation. You get 60 if they're flying. But then later on, as the levels get faster and they start shooting at you more, I think you want to try to wipe out as many of those enemies as possible and concentrate on the yellow and red ones. If you shoot the two red aliens dropping on you and then shoot the yellow one, you get the most points. You get 800 points for hitting that yellow one. And at times while playing this game, I just felt like every one of my shots was going between the aliens in formation. It was as if I couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. I was trying to think of an analogy. What else has such poor accuracy when firing? And it came to mind, only Imperial stormtroopers could be so imprecise. I'm pretty sure Ben Kenobi meant to say that during his famous line in Star Wars. The scene that comes to mind is in The Empire Strikes Back when they're escaping Cloud City and Chewbacca's running away and there's a stormtrooper that comes up behind him. He's maybe 10 feet away, shoots at him a few times, 2 or 3 times, misses completely. I mean, he's like, this is Chewbacca for one thing. This isn't Yoda, you know. And how do you miss Chewbacca? He's like a 10-foot tall Wookiee. This stormtrooper, they must have terrible sight out of those stormtrooper helmets. Just completely whips both of his shot. Chewie turns around, just blows him away in one shot with his crossbow. Because, you know, he's Chewbacca. He's awesome. And, well, that's sort of how I felt like when I was playing this game. That has little to do with Galaxian, except for the fact that The Empire Strikes Back came out in 1980 and was being filmed during the year that Galaxian was released. Now, how's that for 6 degrees of separation? Chewbacca and Galaxian. That's a winning combination. We could give it a name. Chewlaxian. It's like a verb. Like, what are you doing this weekend? Yo, bitches, I'm Chewlaxian. In the dictionary, it would be verb. The art of playing Galaxian while watching The Empire Strikes Back. I think we're on to something.